Hey everybody, welcome back to this week's reading. My name is Stephanie and welcome if this is your first time visiting my YouTube channel. Each week I do an energetic forecast for what is coming up the following week. I do 3 Akashic keywords that I channel during my work in the records each week as far as what is coming up, just to give us a jump start on what's coming at us the next week, and then some crystal guidance and some oracle card guidance as well. One-stop shopping, right? That's where my brain goes this time of year. So getting as much guidance as we can, especially when things start to feel a little hectic during the holiday season, is always helpful, I think. So this week we do have a full moon in Gemini. I'm a Gemini sun sign, so that's kind of interesting to see what's coming up this week. Generally has to do with communication, but also can sometimes have to do with duality and contrasts and that sort of thing. So full moon in Gemini on December 7th, which is Wednesday, I believe. Yes, Wednesday of this week. So if you do happen to stumble across this video outside of that time frame that I just mentioned, and it feels relevant to what you're going through at the moment, it absolutely is. But we are looking at the time frame of December 4th through the 10th right now. So let's talk first about the decks we're going to use. I'm going to use this Zodiac deck number 1 from Healing Crystals. I usually use the sort of more oracle decks. This one is specifically a Zodiac deck. I did draw one of there are several signs, several cards per sign in this deck. I did draw one of the Gemini cards. And then for our full moon guidance on Wednesday, we're going to use the Moonology Manifestation deck. I did draw that one ahead of time, but I haven't peeked at it yet. And then for the remainder of the week, we're going to use Kyle Gray's Keepers of the Light Oracle deck. So let's talk first about the Akashic keywords that came out. 3 keywords this week. Let me give them to you, and then we will talk about them a little bit. I got Juxtapose, Magnify, and Observe, which I thought was super fascinating when I really kind of sat with the energy of those words. Juxtapose, Magnify, Observe, especially given that we have a full moon and it's in Gemini this week. So Juxtapose basically means to place 2 contrasting things near each other so that you can see them, right? So you can kind of inspect them, observe them, to compare or contrast them. And it's sort of the message I got when I asked a little bit more about Juxtapose is this isn't an energy of contrast in an uncomfortable way. Like we're not being presented with things that feel uncomfortable, like this and this. It's more like, ooh, look at the difference between these 2 things. You know, one of the ways I think that Juxtapose is defined, or an example, an easy example of the word juxtapose is like you place a black and white photograph next to a color photograph. That's a juxtaposition. You can clearly see the difference. You can clearly compare and contrast those 2. That's how we're feeling about maybe our thoughts, our behaviors, things that are popping up for us this week. And there might be a lot popping up given that there is a full moon midweek. But it's not about judging those things. Like we don't judge those photographs and go, well, obviously that one is better because it's in color, right? Or obviously the black and white one is superior. We just note that they're different. It would be like seeing 2 trees outside too and saying, well, that one is beautiful, but that one is different and it's not as good. No, you just look at both of them. You may make some comparisons, you may make some contrasts, but you're observing, you're not judging. So that's the energy that I get around Juxtapose this week, is we may be presented with some things that allow us to compare and contrast behaviors, thoughts, patterns, ways of being, things that are coming at us this week. So be aware of comparing and contrasting things when they're presented to you in a way that's not judgmental, just as part of your experience this week. Because what this does when we get to the next keyword, the Magnify keyword, these things may be magnified, and that may be because full moons carry magnified emotion, generally for many people. So these differences, the juxtaposition you're going to be presented with this week, these differences you see may be magnified. They may feel heightened. They may feel more in your face than they have for a while. So the third keyword then is observe. So what we're doing is we're not judging those comparisons. We're not judging the contrasts. We're seeing the differences. We're appreciating the differences. We're noting them. We are observing them, whether they are internal or external or both this week. So that's our guidance from the Akashic realm this week. Let's talk about our crystal energy. And I did pull one of the Gemini cards, as I mentioned. This one has to do with health, and it's the aquamarine card. So interestingly, I always think of aquamarine as a cooling energy, right? And I know if you tune in regularly, you know, I give a disclaimer that I am not an astrologist on a regular basis. I know very little about it. I do note the full moons, the new moons, that sort of thing. But this one I know is called the cold moon. So aquamarine to me has a very cooling energy, and that may be a good thing when we're in the energy of heightened emotions during a full moon. Maybe kind of a way to go into that observant energy. That is our third Akashic keyword. So aquamarine, that says clears your communication centers. Interesting, given that it's a full moon in Gemini. Aquamarine clears your communication centers for healthy expressions. And a healthy expression would be non-judgment, right? So keeping in mind, juxtapose, magnify, observe, and then healthy expression, healthy communication. Cooling energy. So then Sunday we have, from the Keepers of the Light Oracle deck, we have the Joan of Arc card. This is interesting. Joan of Arc is in this deck the voice of truth. So that's also a communication energy, right? And it's a very non-judgmental. If it's the voice of truth, truth is not judgmental. So truth is factual information, truth is observant, truth is not judgmental. It says, stand strong, focus on your purpose, release the fear of persecution, and speak your truth. So this leans toward the energy that's been popping up quite frequently over the past weeks and months about just being in our truth, being in the now. I am here now. This is what is. We're not reaching back and carrying patterns forward. We are firm in our beliefs, and we know what works best for us. So using that voice of truth, tuning into your inner knowledge, your inner self, your higher self on Sunday to get your week started. And then Monday we have Kali Ma. So this is interesting to me on the heels of this aquamarine energy, which says it's cooling. And the message I kind of got was cooling around communication. Kali Ma is basically facing your fears, but she will also burn away anything that is not necessary for you to carry forward. So it says major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. So this is on Monday as we really start to open up to that full moon energy that's coming on Wednesday. So be aware of any magnified emotions. That's our second keyword this week when it comes to communication, and just sort of letting those fall away. So we want to stay calm, cool, and collected. We want to be the voice of truth, and we want to let anything fall away that isn't serving us. So then Tuesday, funny. Tuesday we have Mercury, which is open communication. Mercury is the very quintessential sort of Gemini communication energy, right? It says open communication, get a weight off your chest, speak up with love and be heard. So this is, it's almost like these two are the energy of juxtaposition, right? So like, I will burn it down to get rid of it because I know it doesn't serve you. And this is saying, okay, let's have open communication. Let's speak up with love and be heard. So both ways are valid, right? But which one is going to get you through this week best? Can you see the juxtaposition? Can you see the contrast? Can you compare these two? Use your discernment to know what is best for what situation that you are placed in this week. So then Wednesday, we have our full moon in Gemini card, which I did draw ahead of time, but I haven't really looked at it. And it says, embrace the flow of life. So this is very much about being in that observe energy, that third keyword we have. And I'll read just a couple things from the guidebook for this full moon energy. It says the manifesting mindset that is associated with embracing the flow of life for the full moon in Gemini card is it's important to accept where you are so you can move to where you want to be. And that's also something that's been coming up a lot, right? We're not living in the past. We're not carrying it forward. We learned from it. We observed it. We're not allowing it to be magnified. We might use it for purposes of juxtaposition, purposes of observance. We can say, I can see I did that. I got this. Now I'm here. And I'm going to do it a little differently this time. So it's important to accept where you are so you can move to where you want to be. So that's the energy of I am here now, and this is what is. And so how can I move forward? How can I observe this and move forward from here? And the manifestation affirmation you can use to work with this energy is I share kind, loving words with the people in my life. I share kind, loving words with the people in my life. So very much the energy of this Mercury card too. Thursday, still in the full moon energy, we have the Lady Venus, which is downloads and understanding. And it says truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. So really staying tuned into any messages, signs, symbols, synchronicities you get. Very much, this almost has a full moon energy to it if you look at the light behind her. Venusian energy, Lady Venus, is a loving energy. So this is about speaking from the heart. And truths being revealed, living in your truth, speaking your truth, and knowing that you're connected and receiving valid insights from higher realms in your higher self, so long as you stay tuned into that guidance. Friday, we have the Mary Magdalene card, and this is the Teacher Awakens card. So this is saying, I have something to share. Follow the inner call. Don't let anything stop you. I said that, and then I looked at the card, and the first sentence is, you have something important to share. So being aware of being in that observant mode and knowing that it may pop up, that you're the teacher this week. You know, a lot of us are seeking guidance and seeking knowledge and always kind of on the lookout for things that can help us grow spiritually, but sometimes you are the thing that helps someone else grow spiritually. So just knowing that you may be in a sort of teacher position, that could be another juxtaposition where normally you're the student, this week you're the teacher. So that's our Friday energy. And then Saturday, last day of this full moon week, and just sort of starting to edge out of the full moon energy on this day, it's the Mother Mary card. So the two Marys back to back, Friday and Saturday. Mother Mary says love and peace. And you can see behind her, that's kind of a full moon symbolism there too, right? Connected to those emotions. And she's surrounded by pink roses, which are love and being connected to the heart center. So she says, let go of the need to be right. This could be especially helpful this week. Full moon in Gemini, surrounding communication. We have, saying calm, cool, collected, speak your truth, but do it from a place of non-judgment has popped up a lot this week. So let go of the need to be right. Choose peace. Mother healing is possible at this time. So that's your last card of the week, rounding it this full moon week out in a very peaceful, sort of nurturing, comforting way. So that is our guidance for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you join me again next week. If you are not subscribed and you do enjoy my videos, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button, the like button for this video, and consider clicking the bell button so that you get a notification each time I release a video, which is weekly. So see you next time.